Pounding at these prison walls inside my mind, struggling to break free, but I realize I'm stuck here, shackled by this insecurity that tells me I can't do what you're expecting of me. Every night I lie awake, feeling like I'm just a mistake. Oh, take a look at me. I know I'm not the perfect boy you want me to be. All I really need is room to breathe because this pressure's killing me. All my life I fought to win your validation, always met with failure and humiliation. Maybe I belong here shackled in this place where no one else can see I'm nothing but a disgrace. Every night I lie in bed, trying to escape from my head. Take a look at me. I know I'm not the perfect boy you want me to be. All I really need is room to breathe because this pressure's killing me. Take a look at me. I know I'm not the perfect boy you push me to be, but I found some clarity. My life's too precious to live shackled by insecurity. Now I'm breaking free. I'm through with you and everybody else telling me who I meant to be. I'm taking back control. The world ends with me. Out and go, don't wanna see you no more. What's enough is enough. Not everyone my legs are rough. Never touch me again. I'm no more your biggest fan. Don't be mad, don't be mean. Not my style, so let me leave. Just turn around and go. Don't wanna see you no more. What's enough is enough. Not everyone my legs are rough. Never touch me again. I'm no more your biggest fan. Don't be mad, don't be mean. Not my style, so let me leave.
Don't let the beat stop, I wanna see your head rocking. Beats clucking, the b-boys are body popping. The bass drop showing sounds like a tremor. Everybody's in the club, getting the vibe together. Hands in the sky, yo, and move to the floor, leave you stressing. Unhappiness at the door, keep it funky. With a 4/4 beat from your radios, TV screens, and in the...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Landy Lodge, where today we're talking a little Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, we had some technical difficulties in the pre-roll, but hopefully we've got them all figured out for you here today. Before I introduce these handsome and incredible gentlemen who will be joining us, I think First things first, we need to thank the people who make this all possible, the Sages of the Lodge. So let's give a major shout out to these amazing people who donate as little as $1 a month to keep my nonsense going. And there's going to be a little update to this list, but we're going to get to that. Let's shout them out. David Freese, Scott Castellano, Jill, Shane, Corey, Nick, Kevin, Roger, AJ, Michael, Brendan, Big Poppy Anime, Grey Goose Gummy Bears, Lamb, Michael Mills, Billy the Kid Lawrence, Gaseous Snake, Jan, Cosmic, DJ Ghoul, Corey Sarakis, Jordan Krupka, Mookie, and Orpheus Joshua. Now, why would I read these names out when I haven't done that in weeks? Why would I ramble this list of names when I haven't done that in forever? Well, it's because there's a new Sage of the Lodge, ladies and gentlemen. And he's right down there. LanzofMasters becomes a Sage of the Lodge in the pre-roll? Are you kidding me, Lanz? Now you got Kobe riled up. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. Ooh, we seem to have lost David, but he'll find his way back in. Dude, thank you very much. Why don't we start? Introduce yourselves, guys, and let's talk a little bit of Pokemon today. Lanz, thank you again, brother. Welcome to the sickos and the normies. Oh, God. Oh, no. Well, I came through. Go ahead, guys. I think you might be muted.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
Hey.
There they are.
All right.
Bro, you like upside down with.
So
You were just like,
literally just spazzing through. So go ahead. Why don't you jump in? Just introduce yourselves quickly, and then let's get this show on the road.
What's going on, guys? I'm Lanz. I am a master. I play a lot of Kingdom Hearts and also a lot of Pokemon. Big Pokemon fan here, and I plan on having a lot of Scarlet and Violet content whenever that comes out.
David, take it. Go. Let's go.
all
Move it.
right. I'm David Freese. All right, what's going on? Thank you again for having me. Faces, Brown Sugar, the Blind Albinos, also huge Pokemon enthusiast, and I'm very excited to talk about it.
What is up, guys? My name is Treehouse. I play a lot of Smash Bros. And Kingdom Hearts on my channel. I'm a huge Pokemon fan as well. So yeah, I'm super excited to talk about this most recent generation and trailer.
Me too. So I won't lie, I got a strikes and gutters mentality. I've got a lot of things I'm excited about. I got a lot of things that are giving me doubts. But I want to lead with a positive note, particularly the thing that has me the most excited. I think the co-op venture is one of the coolest ideas they could have possibly had.
I agree.
Because look, I don't know about you guys.
At this point.
Exactly. Look, I don't come to Pokemon because it has the most advanced combat. I don't go to Pokemon because it has the greatest, most immersive graphics. I don't go to Pokemon because it's particularly the best at any of these technological advancements, right? But I go to Pokemon because it's actually a very social thing. A lot of people play
absolutely.
Pokemon, both gamers and people who wouldn't even consider themselves gamers. It's such a very compatible thing, and I think everybody saw in the summer of Pokemon Go just how social being involved in Pokemon could be. So the entire prospect of actually getting to take this journey with our friends, to me, that's the most exciting thing about this game, because if there's anything Pokemon could do better than other games we all play, I think it's that social aspect.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think, the cool thing about Pokemon is that, instead of just it really being about the story, it's really about you and your connection with your Pokemon and your party. And I think the great thing about this generation is that they take that aspect and they move it up. And I didn't really know how they could do that, but I think adding that connection with you and your Pokemon, and then adding it with you, your Pokemon, and then your friends and their Pokemon and a group, and having your journey together is actually genius. Because I was thinking of that aspect. It's how can they add on to that? And I think this was the perfect way for sure. So I'm mad excited about that.
It's like Ash, Brock, and Misty. They were all going together,
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it in the game. Yeah, exactly.
In the game.
And like that also, it makes
everyone
you
play.
want to get it on day one too, right? Because then you almost
Absolutely.
you have that FOMO. You don't want to miss the adventure with your friends. You pick it up
You don't
day
want to fall
3.
behind.
They're already 3 badges up. I think that the whole co-op venture is such a good idea, especially for people if like you've got Scarlet and your buddy's got Violet, and the two you kind of follow that same path, and you can actually communicate in real time. Oh no, I'm seeing these Pokemon in the wild grass. Oh, actually, I'm bumping into this over here, and you kind of, I don't know, it just opens up so many prospects that are so exciting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this will be the first time in my entire life that I'm going to get both versions of the game. I'm going to get one for
Why?
content.
What's different
and then,
about Scarlet and Violet that's making you do that this time?
Because I'm going to get one for I'm going to get Violet for content, and then I'm going to get Scarlet to play with my friends.
Oh, okay. I
And go
vibe
on
with that.
adventures.
Nice.
And go on adventures with them.
I vibe with
I
that.
typically buy both as well. I always have, just because I like to have that one that I just go through that initial playthrough, and I never like to delete that. So I like to have the other one to be like, let me play through the game, do what I want with it. Now that I know what's coming, maybe I could change stuff, I like to have that two kind of differing plays.
It's
But I
definitely
like-
the coolest looking double pack they've done.
Oh, yeah.
All the
Oh, yeah.
merch, all the merch surrounding Scarlet and Violet looks amazing. I have to say.
Mhm.
They're definitely going all out.
I will say, I don't want to start on a negative note, but I'm just gonna get it out.
Typical Treehouse.
I think all the character designs are amazing, but the main characters have no drip at all,
they look
and it's kind of bothering me.
But aren't you going to
Their
be able to
eyes just
customize
look
their
weird.
outfits? I feel like that's the idea, is they give you this boring drip, so it makes you want to move the game forward to where you unlock good drip. Because isn't that part of the fun too, is the characters are really customizable now?
Yeah, to me, the face just looks a little
It's the
off.
face, man. Yeah,
Face is
it's the
weird.
actual character.
Face is
Yeah,
weird.
it has nothing to do with the clothes. Clothes, I
Right.
could take it or leave it. And again, you could customize them, but that face is just, the eyes are just like a little off. Like they
They
look a
look like
little
dolls. They look
small,
like moving dolls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little strange. It's a little strange. But I do agree. I think the new Pokemon designs are all really cool.
look really
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
That
the
crab
Pokemon
is
designs are cool. The
interesting.
world designs, like everything
Mhm.
about like even where you battle in the backgrounds, like I think everything just looks like so like fine touched and perfect to a T. And
Well,
it's
I'll tell you,
like-
all these hub towns are going to be a deal breaker for me. They look nice.
Mm-hmm.
The little glimpses we've had of the towns are nice. But what are all? I'm interested to see what all these towns are going to offer me different from one another. Like, am I just going to be bumping
Yeah.
into the same cookie cutter town, shop over here, one quirky neighbor over there, gym over there, or is every town really going to be something different and unique? I'm interested in seeing that, because I think when Pokemon is at its best, it's when all these cities kind of have their own unique vibe, and the music has a lot to do with that, and the aesthetic presentation has a lot to do with that. I just think if you're going to have an open world game, then that aspect's gotta be strong,
Oh yeah,
Mm.
that was one of my biggest issues with Sword and Shield, was that it was each town, even though they kind of looked different, they were all literally the same. It was like you just said, Pokemon Center, shop, gym,
And then
you
quirky
go into
neighbor,
these
and then
buildings,
quirky neighbor
don't even do
who like
anything.
trades you a squirrel or something. It's always kind of that.
They didn't
same
even
thing.
have that.
Yeah.
And then you leave.
Yeah.
Right, and then you leave and you completely forget about it.
Bro, but it's crazy because like Sword and Shield isn't even 3 years old, which is
No,
wild.
it's not.
And it's like just going from that, I think, to this also explains how well like the Switch has done, but also like how well the Pokemon company has just been like adapting with the times too.
Bro,
Like, yes, with their mainline games, but also everything they've done with their merch and Pokemon Go and Pokemon Unite. It's like this is peak Pokemon too right now, I think.
I don't know. I don't think there's ever going to be peak Pokemon as like in that magazine back there. I think
That is
was
true. That is
peak-
true.
peak Pokemon right there.
It is. Yeah, it is. That is true. But I think it's so crazy because like, the the Pokemon company didn't think the Switch was going to do well. And now it's
Yeah.
like we see something from Sword and Shield that was like looked just like a straight 3DS game now to
Oh,
Violet
stop
and
it. No.
Scarlet.
Sword and Shield
agree
did
with
not
that.
look like a 3DS game. It looked
no,
like a GameCube game. Like, you need to be clear there,
Oh.
sir. I'm not
Wow.
giving them 3DS graphics.
Wow.
I think I don't know. I think Coliseum looked better than
I
Sword and
think-
Shield.
My point exactly. My point exactly. Thank you. Oh God, I don't know. Okay, let's talk about that then. So here's my big worry. Since Treehouse thrusted us into the nuance of negativity, which I'm thankful for, but I'd hoped we could leave with a positive note. So, all right, if you're gonna
So much for that.
so much
It's
for
better
that.
at the beginning. I'd rather bring it up at the start, and then we can end on a good note.
Fair. Hey, listen, we have a choice now. The seal's broken. So, all right, so you're going to be an open world game, and you're going to entice me by telling me there's so much to explore. Get out and see the whole world. It looks like plastic. Breath of the Wild came out 6 years ago, and I'm not saying this game needs to look as good as Breath of the Wild, but that game came out 6 years ago on the same console. Why doesn't this look half as good as that? Now, the Pokemon and the designs and the gym leaders and professors, all those like designs, those sorts of aesthetics, I think are some of the best we've seen. But when it comes to the in-game textures, it looks 20 years old. And at what point do we go like, hey, we don't need it to look like Skyrim? But I don't know. Like, am I the only one who thinks like, because like you said, Tree, they thought the Switch was going to fail, so they were building Sword and Shield to be something that was more mobile compatible. All right, you don't have that excuse now. Now you knew you were building something for the Switch, and it can't look half as good as a game that came out 6 years ago. Something ain't right about that. I don't know. I don't know.
To just disagree with you there, I don't think people who play Pokemon really give a shit about that.
But now you're open world.
I don't care.
But
I
now
don't
you're
care.
open world.
don't
It's a
give a
different
shit.
story. I explored every corner of Breath of the Wild maps, Skyrim maps, because it looked
But
beautiful.
this isn't Breath
And there
of the
were little
Wild. This
hidden.
isn't
But now they want to be open world,
Pokemon.
David. Now they want to be open world. I'm sorry. They crossed that bridge. They decided they wanted to be open world. And
doesn't necessarily mean that it has
so
to
you're going to
be
give me
like
open world
amazing
and
looking.
not entice me to explore it.
Minecraft.
No, you can still explore it. They're just, I just don't think they're showing you everything.
I don't think they're showing me everything either. I guess my point is, in other games that I've played that have offered me a giant map to explore, the map looks beautiful. That's kind of where a love for open world comes from, is you can get lost in this beautiful landscape. To me, and it's okay if this is the approach, I just think this might hurt it, is the only reason to explore every corner of this map to get the Pokemon? Or is like the world itself gonna pull me in? You know, I love that I could stand on a mountaintop in, say, Zelda. I could see a beach in the distance, and that meant I could take myself to that beach. You know, those things enticed me to move around. Am I just going to be looking at the Pokédex to see where I can catch all the evolutions? Is that the only reason I'm going to corner B?
See, I don't
know.
I don't think that. I think with the marketing, they did say it was open world, but I don't think they're gonna show you all of the nooks and crannies, like beautiful stuff. I don't think they're gonna show you that initially. They want
But
you to
I'm
discover
complaining about
it.
the textures. The textures look awful. You could give me a beautiful grass plain. It's going to look like Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life from like 2004.
Yeah, it's, to
But
me,
I'm just saying.
it doesn't
Listen,
matter.
I'm day one buying the game, okay? I'm day one buying the game, okay? I just want to be open about that. But at what point do we say, all right, that grass looks like shit? Can it just not?
That's never been what Pokemon's been about.
Okay, Zelda's not about the grass, David, but it helps immerse me into Hyrule when the grass looks half decent. That's my point. That's like my only point.
I didn't get immersed in Breath of the Wild. I picked it up and I just didn't ever finish it. Like, it's just preference.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. This is my preference. I just think if you're going to entice me with open world, make it look gorgeous, man. Make it something worth exploring. But at the end of the day, it's got to catch them all. If that's what's hopping me around the map, then so be it. I just think they're the richest franchise in the world. Like, I'm not saying the textures are a deal breaker. I just wish they could look better. Like, there's indie games with staffs the size of this podcast list making games with better looking textures. This is my only point. I'll let it rest. It
could get better, before it releases, like they do say.
Game footage is not final.
Exactly. And especially even with the past, even with Legends and BDSP, they really proved that it's not final.
That's fact.
To be fair, all kids on day one had texture issues. Not that I give a fuck, to be honest. And the frame rates in BDSP are fucking terrible. Have you seen Pokemon blink their eyes? The frame, that bothers me. I'm not like a graphics person, but the way they blink their eyes, it doesn't look natural. That pisses me off so much.
Because one frame is just closed and then the next frame is just closed.
What are you guys doing? I know it's not Game Freak, but come on, man.
Right.
You don't see any of that motion. I get it. It's coming from a casual gamer. I know you guys are more into the gaming sphere or whatever.
This motherfucker's got plush Pikachus behind us, and he's trying to separate himself from us over here.
I'm not separating. I'm not as much. I know you guys play a lot more games than I do.
You're fair. Keep going.
I do love my Pokemon.
It's hard not to. I'll say that.
I think we all got plussies.
Let's go, Lance. Let's go. Love it.
It just, to me, just the all the new features, the different quests that you can go on. That's what entices me.
I was interested to see what that quest was that got all the sunflower Pokemon to follow you. That looked fun. Stuff like that could be cool. Stuff like that could be really cool.
You have the gym, you have the Titans, you have the it's different things you could do. And what they were saying is that you could switch between them whenever you want. So you could literally do whatever you want in this game. You could do the gyms, or you could fucking say, fuck the gyms. I want to go discover these Titan Pokemon or whatever. The fact that you have the options now is just to me, that's awesome. There's more to the game than just go to a town, fight the gym, go to the next town, fight a gym. And you could do it in any order you want. That moment in Gold and Silver, after you do, I think it's Ecruteak City, where you could basically do the Ice Gym, the Steel Gym, and the Fighting Gym in literally whatever order you want. You could go east,
I know that.
And you could go west. Yeah, you could literally do them in any order you want. We haven't had anything like that since those games. So the fact that you can just go wherever and do whatever you want, maybe run into a Pokemon that's too tough for you to fight and you kind of get fucked by that, that's awesome to me. That's
I want that. When I played August the first time, I went to that level 40 Alpha Rapidash, and I was
iconic.
More of this. Give it to me.
That Alpha Snorlax too, that I tried desperately to catch, but it never worked out and he just got pissed off. That's cool. More of that, and it looks like they're actually going for it.
I guess what I wanted to see more of, though, that I will say, I'm all for mixing up the gameplay. And like you just illustrated, being able to go and do things as you want. You want to go hunt a Titan, go hunt a Titan. You want to go to a gym? Sure, go to a gym. You can go to any gym you want. It doesn't have to be the first gym. You know, that stuff is very exciting. Are they going to do anything to mix up the combat in this game? Like, even the minor tweaks that were made in Legends, I thought were game changing, in my opinion. No pun intended. But is there anything that's going to mix up the gameplay? And while we're on that topic, I think the crystal forms are stupid. I think they're so stupid. And I can't wait to be proven wrong, because maybe we haven't seen everything. Maybe there's more to them. But, like, what? Do they go crystal and now their attacks are stronger and look prettier? Am I still selecting the menu the same way?
And they change type. They can change type.
Okay.
So that,
Flying Pikachu, baby.
Flying Pikachu. You
Yeah,
have
the ghost
Sudowoodo
Tyranitar.
that becomes a grass type. Like, it can change up the whole vibe of a battle.
It changes the strategy, but it doesn't change the gameplay.
No, it doesn't change.
I would like to see, and maybe only Lanz could vibe with me on this comment, but wouldn't it be cool to see some, say, like, limit break style stuff come to the turn-based game, where to use the special move, you got to line up the slot roll. You know Tifa's slot roll in OG FF7? Anybody know what the fuck I'm talking about? Anyway, just this idea that if you're going to use these special moves, you have to do something else. You have to press the buttons in a certain combination quick enough, or you have to line things up on a slot in time before the attack. I don't know. I understand crystallizing them, and they change type, and there's these new moves. But at the end of the day, you kind of just reskinned it. You kind of just put a new skin on it. I'm still selecting the moves and playing the game like I was before. What I like so much about Legends, if you guys could maybe remind me, what are the two types of moves you could volley between? Like, you could
Strong style
and speed
strong
style.
Yeah.
Agile style.
Agile style, like
Right.
stuff like that too, and that's more strategy than in his gameplay. I guess I was hoping to see a little bit more of that, but again, as stated in the opening, I don't come to Pokemon for like that next level gameplay. I would just like to see these, like, the gimmick sort of level up a little bit. Like, I know every gen has a gimmick. I'd like to see the gimmick level up a little bit more. To me, this doesn't seem too much different from Mega Evolutions. It's like, it's a form change, and it's like, I feel like we've done form changes, and you're just giving me a different flavor of form change, you know?
I think it's definitely their way of, like, changing it, but also never committing to fully changing the original concept of the
Which
battle
is fair.
system, which is genius, and I think it's also fair.
Completely
So, you know, I'm always down for something a bit different. I remember seeing, like, Gigantamax, and I was like, that looks okay, but then I played it and I had a really fun experience. So I'm gonna give it a chance and try it out. But I think they're very, like, as you know, they don't like change. But I think it's like they're changing in the right ways, I think, you know. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. But if that makes sense, I guess.
I have a question. I skipped Sun and Moon. Maybe like David can answer this question. Was Z moves like limit breaks? Like, I don't really know what Z moves like were.
They were just, you click the Z move and you
busted
click the move,
It was
and
broken.
it's just a busted, broken
it's
move.
just
It's
with cool animations.
right that you couldn't skip.
Yeah.
So it was so annoying.
I like the
Right.
Mew one. It looks so mad.
Some of them
It
are
was
really
cool.
cool, but if you're trying to, like, advance in the story, I don't need to watch this minute and a half cutscene.
It's like a
every time someone does-
pancake
Yeah,
slam
like,
from
oh,
Snorlax. Yeah, it's like pancake
God.
something.
Yeah, that was
But-
a Dynamax Adventures too. Those long ass cutscenes.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes, it was like, come on, just get to it. But my theory on why they won't ever really change the battle system, especially in the like the main series games, that competitive Pokemon thing is huge. They
true.
air that the tournaments online. Like, you got a big following looking at that. People making a lot of money doing that. I don't think they can change it to where the point where competitive people will be so pissed off because they make a shit ton of money from it. I don't think that it would
do
be
they
in
allow
there.
like in Sword and Shield competitive, are you allowed to use Gigantamax?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
but it's
yeah.
all double battles for Sword and Shield for competitive.
Mm.
So you pick 4 of the Pokemon that you have in your team, and then it's like best of 3. And between games, you can switch out what your 4 Pokemon could be, and it's just a double battle from there.
I'll say what on the topic of Gigantamax, what I loved about Gigantamax was the ability to do those raid battles with your friends. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
is there anything resembling that in Scarlet and
Yeah.
Violet? There is. Tell me
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, you can with yeah, what's the name? I always call it terraforming, but I don't know like the actual name.
terrestrializing. I
That's
think
right.
is
You
what
can
it's
do
called.
you can do raid battles with
Mhm.
that.
Awesome.
Like you can like fight a
Mhm.
you
That's
can fight
cool.
Pokemon.
Yeah, they did
That's
that in
cool.
like the trailer before this trailer, right? Didn't they show that? Something like
Yeah,
that.
they
I
did.
think so.
I think it's a Gargavile they were fighting or trying to catch.
Mm-hmm. But like again, there's that co-op aspect, and they're just up in the game from that. Love that. I like just the vibe that they're going with too. Like, you want to discover new things? Go over here.
I like
You
the
can do whatever
Academy
you want.
approach. I like the Academy approach.
Mhm.
There's
Mhm.
something about that feels right. Because it feels
Oh,
like
yeah.
these little children running around should be in some kind of school anyway. So,
Mhm.
you know, them working for a school rather than some crackhead professor in a town with a population of 6. There's something about that's a little more comfortable.
What are the it's like the students that like reject the academy or what are those what are the
Yeah,
kids
it's the
called?
Team Star.
Yeah, it's like I want to be on
Pokemon.
that
The
team.
degenerates?
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to fight them.
Son,
I want to
give me
join
that.
them.
Yo, let's go.
I would
Hopefully
love
you
that idea.
That would be really cool. Like you join a faction or whatever.
I'd
Yeah.
actually
That'd be
love
really
that.
cool.
I'd actually
I
love that.
want to do that. Like I want to be with them.
Mhm.
That's where I
will
belong.
dismantle this oppressive establishment.
Floor by floor.
Oh,
Oh
God.
man.
Fighting the Torkoal on that train or whatever. That looked cool. Like,
Yeah.
so much of the trailer, I just I enjoyed a lot.
I'm ready for I'm definitely excited to see more battle settings like that for stuff we don't even know
Mhm.
yet too. You know, it
Mhm.
gets me
Definitely.
thinking of like different like side bosses or teams or you know whoever the you know evil person's going to be whatever. It gets
And
me
you're
kind of
not going to
excited.
like the stock battle screen where it's like in the background and it's like, what the fuck is going on here? You know, like
Right.
why you gotta pull me out of the experience? At least they're keeping you in the world now, you know?
Right. I have a question for you guys. It's a little off topic,
Shoot.
Yeah.
but do you guys think there's going to be a new evolution?
Yes. There has to.
I had a theory a bit ago, and I talked to Landy about it. That
I want to hear it.
well, because in the Pokemon Journeys anime, now this is spoilers, kind of, but not really. The female protagonist has an Eevee, and the whole arc of the Eevee is that it doesn't know which way it wants to evolve. So I do believe that before the end of Pokemon Journeys, they're gonna have it evolve into this new Eevee, whatever it may be.
Ghost or dragon, please. Ghost
Bro,
or dragon.
what if it's
I think
another
so, it
bike?
goes.
What if it's a bike?
I think my theory is I think it's going like I think something bad is going to happen to Eevee, and then like at the end of Journeys, and then like it's going to be like a ghost, kind of like what's her face? Who's the girl with the dead Mimikyu? Like Asaroa, Asaroa's Mimikyu, I think is dead, but like came back as like a shiny Mimikyu. Like I think that's my prediction that we'll see something like that with Chloe's Eevee. It's going to come back as like a ghost type. Maximum evolve.
And that'll be their great way to introduce a new evolution. You know, like, and we've seen it. It's not like unprecedented where like a Pokemon was introduced in a previous generation in the anime. We had Togepi. We
Yeah.
we had who else? We had Lucario
In the movie,
We had
Meryl and the Pikachu Summer Vacation movie.
We had what else?
I remember. I'm old enough to remember when Meryl was known as Pika Blue.
Pika Blue.
Me too.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my!
that's
I'm
crazy.
we are boomers.
Yeah.
Pika Blue. Wow, I remember that.
What starters everybody
look,
going with?
evolution.
I know we talked about this the last time we all got together, but is everyone still on the same page? I'm still
Quaxley
doing
all day.
Fuecoco.
Quaxley.
I'm going Fuecoco.
I'm going Fuecoco.
Fuecoco,
Every time
baby.
I'm the fire starter.
Team Fuecoco, baby. Let's go. But honestly, I need to see the evolutions. That could flip me. That could flip me, depending on what the evolutions
And you
look
know
like.
they're not going to show you that until
I
the
don't
day the game comes out.
I don't
Right.
want to see
Oh,
it. It's almost like I want to see in the game, like for myself.
Same.
With
Right?
Arceus, I didn't want to see that new Decidueye form or any of the other new forms until I saw it for myself
Oh, hell yeah.
in the game.
I saw a great
Which
picture with the starters,
great.
and it was like, it was just them lined up, and then it was like Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and the colors were just like,
Yeah.
it matched up way
yeah.
too well, and I was like, holy shit, this is happening. But I pray that Weed Cat Pokemon stays on its 4 legs. I don't want it to be a humanoid Pokemon.
I'm sick of it. Literally
Yeah.
every single
Listen, if it
starter
really is a weed
becomes-
cat, it ain't getting up. We'll be fine. We'll be all right. He'll stay down there.
I'll take the Mega Man and Proto Man Pokemon over.
I love the
that
Mega
cat.
Man Pokemon.
I love
No.
those, dude. Those are sick.
Oh my god. Oh
Those are
my
sick.
god. I saw them and I was like,
it's
if anybody
final
says this
form.
is stupid, I'm muting them across social media. I love the Mega Man Pokemon.
They're fresh, bro.
I love them too.
Awesome.
I'm big fan.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm picking the sword one.
Me too.
I'm picking the sword
Easy,
one too.
easy,
yeah,
easy pick.
same.
Easy pick. Zero was always cool.
Just
than
to
Mega Man.
make-
Everyone knows that. Everybody knows.
Just to make a theory, if we're talking about a weed cat, the final evolution has to be Indicat.
Indicat.
Come on. Come on, it's gotta be. I'd instantly pick
Indicat. Yo, you should
Indicat.
just nickname it Indicat, bro.
100%.
Just nickname it Indicat. Oh,
No,
my
but that sword, the ghost fire type, and it looks like
Sick.
it's gonna be a physical type.
Oh,
So you have the you have like Chandelure, which is one of my favorite Pokemon, the ghost fire type. But that's
Gotcha.
very special. And this is gonna be like, I guess, the physical like ghost fire type. That's awesome to me. I'm so excited to just cut people fucking down with that shit.
When they
Pulled out the
when they
sword.
showed the trainer side by side with those Pokemon, I was like, bro, this is so fucking cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was so sick. I was I was at my work. I was watching the trailer. Like I was on my break, watching the trailer in the hallway, and I saw the ghost Pokemon. I'm like, what the fuck? Ah! And one of the higher ups was like I was joking around me, like, what the fuck are you yelling at? I'm like, oh, you won't understand. You wouldn't understand.
Bro,
I
you
want
ever
the
played Pokemon?
I want the shinies to look like Mega Man or like Samus or something. Like
Yeah.
I pray like they got to make those
No,
look
you should
sick,
make it
too.
look like
Be a
Mega Man and
Proto
Zero.
Man,
Just
or-
make it look
Yeah.
like Mega Man and Zero. I would
That'd be
love that.
so sick.
I don't know. I'm just gonna do what I've been doing lately. I don't know why. I'm hooked on just making teams of evolutions. That's what I've been doing in the latest entries of the series. Is my team is just always a different cycle of evolutions. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to pull me out of a habit like that.
Look, the beauty about Eevee is that you can get whatever fucking type you want. Yeah,
Not
I'm out of
Ghost
it.
or Dragon, David.
Yeah.
God, I
But you
want it
got-
so bad.
What
I-
Dragon
I
Eevee
do
look
interested.
like?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like,
Landy
yeah,
was
like,
saying
look,
it's all on the tail.
It's
I
all
remember
in
you
the
were saying
tail.
that.
You've seen How to Train
Yeah.
Your Dragon. He would move like Toothless, all fours, but very scaly. You know what I mean?
Will
like
it have
Spyro,
wings?
like a Spyro the Dragon, an all fours dragon. You know what I mean? Like that's what the movie would turn out to. The
Okay.
ears would
Be-
turn into like horns or something. You know? Oh,
Would the color of it be a combination of Scarlet and Violet mixed
Oh, I can
in?
see it, bro. I can see it now.
That would be kind of cool.
It will just like Spyro. It's gonna be memed everywhere. It's gonna be Spyro memes. It's gonna be like this game is gonna be based around like 90s and 2000s like platform protagonists with Mega Man and Spyro. I can see it now. I can see it now.
That would be amazing.
And there's gonna be a Crash Bandicoot Pokemon.
Give me
There's gonna be
Rayman. Give me Rayman.
I can see it now.
I will say, like, even the colors of the game, like, they showed that OLED Switch edition, and it looks so sexy. Like, especially with the Pokeball on the back of it, like in the back corner for the Ethernet. It looks so good, bro.
All I want for Pokemon is for the games to look as good as the merchandise. Is that so much to ask?
It will never happen.
Because that is the
Yeah,
coolest
it's probably
Switch I've ever seen in my freaking life.
Dude, companies who invest that much in their merch and care about their merch that much are just like the best kind of companies too. You know, like
Because they care about the character designs, really.
they do. How it's represented, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to get that Sylveon sweater one of these days.
Oh yeah, they've been putting out a bunch of those like sweaters and stuff, right? With the hoodies.
Oh
Yeah.
Those have been really cool. I've been seeing them. But I just want those Pokemon centers to come back. Why the fuck did that have to turn into a Nintendo store? It sucked, man.
One of my friends who was really good friends with someone who used to work there said they closed it down because workers kept stealing shit. Apparently.
Oh, really?
That's what they were telling me.
Shit. Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Like the game packs where they could get other Pokemon and sell it, or
I don't know. He didn't exactly tell me, but he told me one of his good friends that worked there, like they had to keep replacing people because people kept stealing shit, and
wow,
they couldn't afford to keep losing.
That
stuff.
sucks.
I mean, I would steal from there too, 100%. I would not give a shit.
That
I would
place
take
was
everything I could.
Awesome.
Fuck
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
100%.
I would do it. I'd be like, yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know where it went.
Yeah, I'll work there one day and just like, thank you.
Or I'll just pretend to work there for one day and take everything. I'll take someone's shirt. I'll do everything I can just to
you
be
gotta
like, oh
4D
yeah.
chess it. You got to 4D chess it. You work there your first day, and then you have your buddy come rob the place. But you let him rob the place.
Okay.
Right.
And then
I
you
like
quit
that.
the next day because
Yeah.
you're traumatized. And now, boom, your record is clean. You got all the shit. You get out.
Yeah.
Maybe you get a severance check from Nintendo. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's 4
Psychological
chess it,
damages.
baby.
Right. Also, I love PB's comment. She was like, I stand with Spyro EV.
Dude, people
I
will
want
be
it to
down
happen.
for it. People will be down
Thief
for
House.
it. Thief House
The Thief
TTV.
I'd do it.
We know you would. I've seen your face. I've seen your eyes light up when we're in a retro game store. I see you look at the thing you want with the biggest price tag, look at the exit, look at the thing, I've seen it. I've seen
Yeah.
it. The Space's a maniac.
I gotta
It's in
check
your
her out.
blood. It's in your blood, bro. I can see it.
I know.
It's
Crazy. Man, it was crazy. It was really hard stealing this Pikachu. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't even fit through the door.
That's how you got it.
Wait.
Yeah. It's like, get in here.
Come on.
Exactly.
Oh my god. I wish I could pull up the trailer right now and so we could like go through everything in the trailer.
I mean, you can do that. I mean, I've had it on. I'm running it in the background right here.
Something I thought of when I saw
You just
the
want to run it.
Scarlet and Violet OLED Switch edition, I was like, how cool would it be like if they put that in your game if you bought that edition, like Animal Crossing? Like I feel like that would
Oh,
be cool.
really?
Yeah, because they showed the OLED like in the trailer.
That was your second thought. Your first thought was like, how can I steal this?
Yeah, exactly. It's like how can I steal the real one and then the one in the game?
Yeah.
That's why I want to join those like kids who hate school or those rebellious kids in the game because they would
Yeah,
totally
your
steal that
master
you could,
Switch.
like,
degree really
steal
fucked
shit
you
in the
up,
game.
dog, huh?
Yeah. My Quaxley's a fucking gangster, bro.
So you're picking Quaxley?
I'm gonna
That's
pick
what you're
Quaxley.
going for?
Yeah.
So
I
we
think
got two
so.
Quaxley and two Fuecocos?
Fuecoco was. I
need the
was
evolutions.
thinking about getting him.
I need the evolutions. I'm on Team Fuecoco right now. That doesn't mean anything. I gotta see those evolutions. I gotta
Tree,
see.
I have a question.
What's up?
Are you gonna hack that second Craxley in the first hour?
Oh hell yeah! I'm going on. I'm going on eBay and I'm gonna get a shiny Quaxley and we're gonna start a journey together. And the best part is I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with my friends and they're gonna see all of it.
And I hope by proxy they all get banned with you.
Just going for it.
That's why I'm excited to play with my friends. I can show off my hacked eBay Pokemon with perfect stats. It's gonna be great. I'm so excited. And I'm gonna put them right in Pokemon Home when I'm done.
Dude, I'll never forget when you showed me your box of Pokemon and you had like 12 of every legendary as a shiny, and I was like, how did you do that? And you were just like, eBay. I was just like, what? I was like, people really out here making money selling Pokemon in Treehouse. I respect it.
Oh
People putting bread on the table from selling some hacked
Selling
shinies.
Pokemon.
The hardest part about all those Pokemon were actually just organizing the boxes because that shit was driving me crazy. But I did it, and it's great. And I have to make more space now too. What's up?
So you should have just paid someone on eBay to do it.
They should have, but they didn't. That was my one recommendation. It's like, how can we help you anymore? And I'm like, well, there's one thing. This new generation that's coming up, maybe just organize them a bit better, and then we'll be good. And that's it. But
do we know how many Pokemon are supposed to be in this at launch?
they did show all the Pokemon who are going to be in the region.
Oh, they did?
I know Cerebi.net.
Do people not care about the national decks anymore? Is that like a thing people have just decided we're never going to have?
I think that's over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that was a
think
big
so, too.
deal. I remember that was a big deal when Sword and Shield dropped. Everyone was like, release the national decks. And I haven't heard a peep about it this time, which is probably for the better, but...
I agree.
Yeah, I think people just accept it at this point.
Well, I mean, especially when you brought up before that, like, the competitive scene in Pokemon is very real. So having to, like, balance, 900 plus Pokemon at this point?
Mhm.
That's no easy task.
It's ridiculous.
It's not a matter of dragging and dropping the data into the game. They have to balance it for the competitive scene, and that's not easy.
Also with
No.
Pokemon Home, it's like you don't want to buy just one Pokemon game and then catch every single Pokemon, right? Like, I don't think they want to make it that easy either. I think they really want to like use Pokemon Home to the point it's like you can only get these exclusive Pokemon in these exclusive games, and then you can transfer it all to here, and that's where all your memories are too, and all your Pokemon. So it makes sense to me why they don't do it.
I agree too. Yeah,
'Cause Pokemon Home's dope.
I agree.
Oh, I love Pokemon Home.
It's
It's
so
more
cool.
than it's necessary at this point.
Yeah, you have to.
And I think it's oh, go ahead.
It's so nice to like have it to like help complete like other Pokemon dexes in other games to help
Mhm.
that shiny charm. It's so nice to have.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think they're still gonna keep Pokemon Bank going to transfer Pokemon.
Yes,
But you
they are.
can't download it anymore, I don't think. They're getting rid of the eShop.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you want to get Pokemon Bank, you gotta download it very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of the
Get
reasons
on it
why.
now, basically.
Yeah, I think it's like March 2023. So I think we have time, but it does suck.
Because I was playing Pokemon Black and White, and this was during COVID, and I like transferred Pokemon from there to Bank, and then from Bank to Home,
Mhm.
and then I used those Pokemon in Sword and Shield, and I was like, dude, I want to do this with like so many more games too,
Yeah.
right?
I'm surprised you went through all the effort to do that.
I know. I could have just got it. I could have just got it on eBay. I actually thought of that, and I was like, man, but this is the thing, because like that time during COVID is like a time I will never forget. And that was all before I started streaming, and I didn't know about eBay then. But I was also I don't know, it was just like having that memory because I found Pokemon Black, and it was like I found it on the Facebook Marketplace, and it was like 2 hours away, and I drove to get it because it was only $25, and that's really cheap for an authentic copy of that game. So I drove all the way there, drove all the way back, and I was like, bro, this is what Pokemon like is about. It's like just making memories like with your game and shit. And it's like I had memories of playing it when I was a teenager, and now I have memories of playing it during a pandemic. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it's fair that they're making exclusive Pokemon in these games too.
Yeah, one of my favorite Pokemon memories is giving you that Pikachu and giving me that Mew. Dude,
same. Big fat same, bro. It's like I had the Pokemon.
What was also cool about that with Pokemon Bank was that the 3DS marketplace also had like red, green, blue, yellow, crystal.
You can get Celebi and stuff that way,
Yeah, and you could get them all the way, and you could get those into Bank and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they are moving in the right direction of getting all Pokemon together, just not necessarily in every single game, you know?
Bro, that
again,
Fire
it's a
Red
lot to manage too, to get that many Pokemon into one.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to introduce more and more Pokemon every gen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get to the point where you're going to have like 2,000 Pokemon, and you're going to, try to put 2,000 Pokemon all in one game?
Well,
and try to have it balanced and work.
And I feel like in the long run, this is what's actually going to keep Pokemon games fresh, right? If if you were someone, say you pick up the series in 10 years, right? One of our kids picks up the series. They're going to have to make their way to every region if they want to catch them all.
Yeah.
And there's something cool about that. You know what I mean? That like you want an Alolan Raichu, gotta go to Alola.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm gonna be like 40 years old, and it's like, here's my 3DS, kid. Good luck.
There's my biggest issue with that. They really need to keep the older games like readily available.
You're talking to the wrong freaking company, David. This is Nintendo we're talking about. It's so sad because you couldn't be more right. You couldn't be more right.
If you're gonna play it that way, then you have to go all the way in that direction. You can't just be like, somehow find some copy of a 20-year-old game and you can maybe do it there.
No, they need to release a collection. They need to release a collection. It's long overdue, but you're right.
Long overdue.
You're 100%.
But why would
right.
they release a collection when they can just keep being lazy and make profit off of these new games and keeping some Pokemon exclusive?
I mean, if they continually make every gen a remake, I suppose that could suffice, right? Eventually, the Gen 7 remake will be upon us. Maybe it's on the Switch Pro, you know, and that's how you get that's how our 10-year-old kid gets the Alolan Raichu.
Because I would love like a collection, obviously.
Of course.
But I could see Nintendo or the Pokemon Company being like, oh, well, if we did that, then everyone could like just get all the Pokemon that way with one collection copy. So let's just like, you know.
Yes. Okay. Hear me out. What if you made two collections?
Yeah, it would be two versions.
Yeah. You got 100%. One that's got red, gold, sapphire, and then the second version will have blue, silver, ruby, and so on and so forth.
I like that.
You want to hear a crazy theory I have?
I'll just wait. Nelly Belly says 50th anniversary. I'm down.
I think one day we will get a Pokemon Black and White 3. I
hope so.
Who was I talking about that with?
Friendly
Somebody
bet.
mentioned that in my chat.
I want to make a friendly bet with you, Treehouse. Or maybe we could bet some Gator Bites on it. I bet you we get Final Fantasy X-3 before you get your Pokemon Black and White 3.
Was that in the NVIDIA leak?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're safe, but Nomura's
then your deal is then I'll do it.
You're in. You got me. All right, cool. All right, I'll take you.
All right, it's a deal. It's a deal. Wait, you said Final Fantasy X?
Final Fantasy X-3. I'm betting that Final Fantasy X-3 would be out before Black and White 3.
You would definitely win that one.
All right, so you're not taking it.
I mean, I'll buy you some gator bites. I'm
That's
down.
not fun, Treehouse. That's not fun. I'm trying to gamify it.
I love some gator bites.
Gator bites
I'll
are good.
eat them anytime. But
That's the thing. If we're talking about you can't really do black and white the Gen 5 remakes, right? Because there's the two separate
That's
games.
what I'm
They would
saying.
have to do a sequel.
yeah, it's like,
That's
why
what
would
I
you just
think.
remake it? I mean, because I remember there have been interviews about them talking about a sequel to Black 2 and White 2, and it just never went through. And I was like, bro, that would be perfect, man. Like,
I think they'll do. Somebody in my chat mentioned this last night, and I can't remember who, so I apologize for not remembering who said this. But they said, they should do a black and white 3, but it be a remake of both 1 and 2.
But how would you do that? You're two separate characters.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
That would be the issue, because in the protagonists are totally different in both of those games. So
It's also
unless you would play half the game as one character and then start over as another character and kind of just go through the same region. I don't know if I'd like that one. I'd like a sequel more than I would like a remake.
I don't think it's I don't.
That's a
There's no
sentence I love so
coincidence
much, I have
about
to be honest.
the subway trainers and Legends Arceus. It's not a coincidence. They're gonna do some shit with that. They have to, because I saw some people playing and they were like, oh, like, who's this guy? And then I get to the game and I'm like, holy shit, it's the subway trainers from Black 2 and White 2.
What if that's the next Legends gen we go to?
I mean, I thought of that when I first saw him.
It seems like a match made in heaven, right? Because Black and White was the gen they tried to mix it up the most, and Legends was like their real big success in giving us that mix-up experience. So honestly, the region and the concept, honestly, are a match made in heaven.
Legends Geneset, the Metal Lega, maybe I think you gotta keep it going with the mythical theme. Legends Keldeo.
I think it would be different. So if we're gonna do a Legends, you know how in those games it's Kyurem is the body and it's split off from the original dragon. I think it's gonna be the original dragon. If they're gonna do Legends,
I like that.
For
that would be
region,
cool.
I think that maybe have knights and shit, they had in that region. That I would think would be really.
Or what if one subway trainer went to the past in Legends Arceus? What if the other one went way in the future? Rode that way, and then the sequel would take place then, and something happened to maybe have some explanation of it. I feel like that would be really dope.
Be cool.
I think that'd be dope.
Is there any
crazy?
Go ahead.
Isn't it crazy with Pokemon fans how we have this game coming out and we're like, what the fuck is that?
Yes.
Sound like Kingdom Hearts fans, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, like I said, at my work, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" in the hallway, and my higher up was like, well, "What the fuck are you yelling at?" I'm like, "You won't understand." Yeah, it's just so many things that we see in trailers make us say, "What the fuck is happening?"
I could show you, but you would not understand, boss.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I said. Do you guys think? You think of Surf TV's Game Boy Advance coming as Switch Online rumors?
I believe the GBA Advance games are going to be coming, but I only believe games like Pokemon Pinball or other side ones are going to be coming. I do not think we're going to get mainline GBA games on NSO at all. That's not going to happen.
I really think that they have to bring Pokemon Emerald. I think I have to bring Pokemon Emerald and add the event that was Japanese only, so I can do my shiny Mew hunt.
Listen, dude, I wish I want that to happen, but I just don't see Nintendo or the Pokemon Company doing it. I want it to be true.
I want it to be true. I'm hoping, but those that other have me is they're not that cool.
I did see Chain of Memories on that list, which I'd be so fucking down about.
I would be down about that.
See, now that has an online mode. If you resurrect
Right.
that, I'd be a very happy guy.
Mhm.
Nah,
that'd be
fuck
lit.
Chain of Memories. I'm
How
sorry.
dare you.
The cards are the worst.
How
I'm
dare
sorry.
you?
At least
David.
Chain of Memories on GBA, the online would be better than Melody and Memory, which is crazy.
Well, Melody and Memory doesn't have
Well,
a
fuck
freaking
Melody
online,
and Memory
which
too.
was the
Like, what
biggest
the
mistake.
fuck? Get the
It
fuck
has
outta
online, but
here.
not like good multiplayer.
Well, it's just silly that I can't get in a lobby and play against you in Melody and Memory. It has to be against
That's
some
so-
random. It's a
That's
Right.
so they dropped the
Oh,
ball.
that's
with that
ridiculous. I didn't
online.
even know that.
Thank
Yeah.
God
That's
for mods.
Dumb as shit.
Yeah,
Honestly. But
Oh,
Pokemon
just-
Pinball's cool. Music's
I love
good.
Pokemon. I play a lot of
dude,
Pokemon.
I'll
Pinball.
never forget.
I've never been
coming
more
home with
addicted in my
Pokemon
life than
Pinball.
playing that game.
What?
I was so addicted to that fucking game more than anything.
Just going for hours. Just
Hours.
and-
Because you had to put like a battery in too, right? At the
Yeah,
top. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Mine would die all the
It's
time. And I'm like,
big-
fuck.
The biggest cartridge.
Yeah, exactly.
And it kind of made the Game Boy like a little top heavy, so like it was
Exactly.
kind of like you'd have to.
Or
like,
if you had
toggle
an
it up.
advanced SP, then you're like, oh whoa, this is really
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
But dude, Scarlet and Violet is gonna be great. I'm telling you, it's going to be great. I really think so. Fuck you and your the textures.
It looks like garbage, though. It looks
Whine
like
about the
garbage,
goddamn textures
David.
When we're getting the
It looks like I'm sorry though. I'm sorry. You can't be the richest franchise on the planet and have worse looking grass than indie games on my cell phone. That's
Clearly
a
they
problem.
can, though.
That's a
Voice
real
crack.
problem.
They can.
No, the voice crack was
Landy.
punctual.
Landy, if I may say, logically, your phone is probably more expensive than your Switch. So that does make sense.
Not because of its graphics card.
I don't know. Average smartphone is what, like $600 to $1,000 now? It's more than a Switch. More than a Switch Lite.
Okay, all right.
More
fine,
powerful.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I'm giving too much credit. Oh
God,
Why
here we
does
go.
the grass look worse than a GameCube game? The textures are awful. They're awful. It's not just bad. They're awful. I poked around in Unity for 4 hours and the grass looked better than this. I'm sorry. Again, I am a day one buy. I'm excited for Scarlet and Nexus. Think it's going to be a lot of fun. But again, at what point do we go, maybe that's unacceptable? Maybe that's
you say
unacceptable.
Scarlet Nexus?
Did I say Scarlet
You did-
Nexus? Better.
I think you said Nexus.
better-
You did.
hey, listen. I recommend people play Scarlet and Nexus over Scarlet and Violet.
That's a
I'll say
DLC.
that.
That's a DLC
That's
for
the
it.
DLC.
Which I've
That's
already
the
started
DLC.
thinking about the DLC for the game. Right. That's the DLC.
And a game doesn't
About the
have.
DLC.
Go ahead.
Speaking of DLC, I hope, in my opinion, unlike Pokemon Sword and Shield, I hope we get I don't want them to put everything in Scarlet and Violet in day one, but I want to feel like I play a complete game. I didn't feel that way with Sword and Shield. I feel like Sword and Shield felt complete with the DLC, the Iron Armor and Crown Thunder DLC. I want the DLC to make the game better. I don't want it to make a big game a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's just unfortunately the way games are now.
No,
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I hate
no,
it. I hate
no,
it.
not all games. I ain't gonna.
Remake.
I'm not gonna
Southern remake.
categorize.
Southern
Here we
remake.
go.
Like a
I
complete game.
am not gonna lump
Fantasies
in all those hardworking game devs out there with the people making these Pokemon games. I'm sorry, I'm not about to do that. Go look at Xenoblade 3. 100 hours. Game looks beautiful. That's not the way games are now. Plenty of games drop with loads of content and loads of hours and loads of delays because they want that game to look good. No. You're expecting a complete game? I wouldn't bet on it. I bet on the same feeling Sword and Shield gave you. Because that's the same feel Sun and Moon probably gave you, and that's what this is going to do too.
I skipped Sun and Moon. I
Skip
was
Sun
like
and
there,
Moon.
but I skipped it.
Isn't that your favorite Gen Treehouse, right? Don't you
No, it's not
love
my
the
favorite. I
Gen-
like it.
I
I thought
like
it
no,
was
I
a
like
good
Gen
gen.
7.
It
I
is
like
not
Gen
my
7.
favorite though.
I
I
thought
agree. I
I
like Gen
liked it
7
more
though.
than
No, I enjoyed it, but I did not.
Gen
It is
7 is
not my
that one
favorite.
game where I actually thought the plot was okay.
yeah.
Like the Gen 7 plot really was actually okay.
Really, that's good.
I love
Yeah,
Alolan
just
Raichu. I'm
the,
biased.
The
Yeah.
the
Alolan Swarms are
goddamn
fun too.
hand holding and the fucking cutscenes were just too much. That the first like 2 hours of Sun and Moon were just such a slog to get through.
I remember you
And
saying that.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah.
that's just like that is the only reason why to me that game won't be as highly remembered as some other games. But
Also, I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm just gonna get it out. I'm very excited for Scarlet and Violet, but like I knew when Legends Arceus was announced that this was gonna be like such a special game. And like I'm not saying they're not ever gonna do another Legends type of game, but like Scarlet and Violet looks fun and great, but something about like just the story and the appeal and the look of Legends,
And the
like
polish.
I think you can expect. I think you can expect a Let's Go or Legends-esque game every generation. I think.
I'd
hope
love
so.
that. I'd love that. I would love that.
yeah, I'd love it too. I just think they could not have picked a better generation to start all of this out on than Gen 4, and I think about that all the time for some weird reason.
I agree.
I hope
Well,
they
'cause
do
there's
Gen
just
5.
such-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
I was gonna say I hope if they do Gen 5 next, I hope they bring that legendary theme for the Souls of Justice back.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's my favorite song in all of Pokemon.
Bring the Pokemon tournament back, dude. Like from Black 2 and
Oh,
White
yeah.
2. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I liked the starters from Gen 5 because that I
I
really
hate
think
them.
is what.
I hate.
Yeah,
I don't
they're
really
the
like them.
worst.
They're
That is
terrible.
what killed the game for me. Like I just
Same.
didn't care.
I think Ocelot's okay, but like that's it. Like I think the rest of them are trash.
Did you know Snivy's
that-
final evolution has arms?
Yes.
It's like,
and it's
have you guys seen a
weird.
picture of its final evolution? Do you know what it
It's
looks like?
Weird.
Superior.
Yeah, and it's like you think it's just like some grass or something, but it's like
Like
yeah,
yeah,
it's weird. It's weird. But
It's so like Tipig is. I think Tipig's almost stronger. I fucking hate the entire line. Probably.
yeah.
I like
it's like
Lechonk
kind of-
more.
I like the Chocobo too.
Lechonk is cool.
I like Lechonk.
Yeah.
I like
He's my
Lechonk.
best friend. I want a Lechonk plush. I want a giant Lechonk plush, please.
Give me that Fido.
Yeah.
So cute. So
Oh,
cute.
Fido is
I
cute.
do like
Yeah.
No, honestly, the designs in
little
this game
dessert.
give me hope. The designs in this game give me hope.
What's the name of that crab Pokemon?
Cloth.
Cloth.
Hell yeah.
He looks creepy as shit. I love him.
He's funny.
Like a sand crab.
I'm waiting for someone to like use that model to make, that like Cradge Beach theme meme
Yeah,
or whatever
yeah.
whenever someone dies. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. But yeah, I think the designs in this game are great because it's like I really care about that. Like you guys were saying, like Gen 5, I thought like Black 2 and White 2 is like for me the best. Like it was fast paced. Like the moving models were super dope. Like even the 3D stuff they had in the game, the concept, the battle mechanics, the tournament, like everything was amazing. And I'm glad they ended up adding more Pokemon in like the second version of that game because like Black and White was just like I didn't like the designs and like that's what's really important to me. Like if I look at a Pokemon and it looks nothing like an animal or anything in real life, I'm like that's a good Pokemon. But
I've always
even
liked
if
the
it kind
Pokemon
of
that
looks
look
like
like
an animal,
dinosaurs.
but, like-
Dinosaurs are the
Yeah.
way to go. If you make Pokemon look like dinosaurs, people will always love them. You look at the
Yeah, I
first
agree.
3 gens, very Tyranitar, very dinosaur
favorite, bro.
heavy, baby. People like dinosaurs.
Salamax, Dragonite.
Yeah.
right. What was the
Even Venusaur.
one from Gen 5 where it had like 3 heads?
Hydrogen. Or
Yeah,
Hydreigon.
I do like that.
Yeah, that was one of the few that I liked. But again, and that's another thing with Gen 5 that pissed me off was that all the Pokemon took forever to evolve. So you had to get to like level 65 to get your Hydreigon, and you're like already done with the Elite Four, you're done with the
Right.
game.
Or you're dead.
Why
Yeah.
right, like why Rufflet, remember that bird that evolves into
Yeah.
the
Braviary.
Braviary, level 55. Like, why? It's a goddamn bird. Level 35 should be the max.
I think Unovian Braviary is very mid. I don't think it should take to level 55 to evolve it. I like Hisuian Braviary. I think that's really cool, but like I think
Yeah.
it's so unnecessary for Unovian Braviary to like
It's just not
evolve
worth
so late.
Yeah.
Why are we waiting level 55 to evolve this thing?
hmm And that was a lot of their Pokemon, too.
How long did it take to evolve Sandalure?
Chandelure, I think that was a Dusk Stone.
Okay.
And I also don't think you got a Dusk Stone until very late in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, Pokemon likes to pretend it has an enticing post game, but they really haven't since Gen 2.
No.
With the exception of Sword and Shield's DLC, but that's DLC. I'm not willing to call DLC post game. It's a different thing.
Arceus I think Arceus post game is really good.
Arceus post game is good. That's a whole, as Tree was talking about, that game's a whole different animal from everything else they're going to put out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's not like a mainline.
Yeah. They call it a mainline, but you know what I'm saying? It's not
got
like a mainline.
it's got better textures than a mainline game.
And that's all good to do with Texas in that game.
I definitely talked about this last time, and I'm still waiting for the Pokemon Company to get on this bandwagon. But it's like I want to see some HD 2D games from Pokemon.
Yeah,
like that's the one thing they haven't really experimented with, and they've done almost everything. And I would buy that shit frame one. And I'm not talking about like an HD. I don't know. It's like. Maybe even if it wasn't like I know Dragon Quest goes between 2D and 3D, and I feel like that would be so cool with Pokemon.
Oh,
I think it would be good.
I would love it, Treehouse, but you're asking Game Freak to be Square Enix, and they're just not.
I'm just asking Game Freak to think about maybe making some 2D games again.
They'd look better. I think their 2D art and their 2D games age way better than their 3D games.
That is one thing I'll say about Gen 5. Those pixel
are beautiful.
It's aged. It feels so fresh now.
It's like peak pixel,
incredible.
Like peak pixel art.
Yeah,
it looked great. The constant motion. And...
It was like peak. It was like close to like peak 3D. Peak DS.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they freaking did. They pushed that DS like
because I'm pretty sure when they were making Black 2 and White 2, like the 3DS was already out too. So it's like they pushed it. But
we all thought that before Black 2, White 2 came out, we thought that the next game was going to just come out on the 3DS because the 3DS was just out and it just didn't.
Yeah.
Right.
It took us forever to remember how long the 3DS was out before X and Y came out. It was like a solid 2
years.
3 years. Yeah.
They usually don't release them that often as soon as a console comes out, though. I think the DS came out in 2004, and then we didn't get, at least in the States, we didn't get Diamond and Pearl until 2007.
Yeah, but there were other Pokemon games. You know, there was like Pokemon Dash, Pokemon Ranger.
Oh
yeah, bro. But we don't like spin-off games, right? We don't like spin-off games. We only
like Pokemon Ranger.
I know.
I know.
Ranger was fun.
No,
yeah,
I had a good time. I bought the game just for the Manaphy egg.
Pokemon
so I could transfer it to Diamond and Pearl.
Pokemon spin-off games are better than their mainline games.
I don't know.
I think
Like-
Pokemon may be the best Pokemon game.
Don't sleep on
No,
Coliseum, baby.
Pokemon TV.
Don't
Pokemon
sleep on
channel.
Coliseum. And
I
Dude,
need to play Coliseum. I need to
You
play
need
Coliseum.
to play that, Lance, bro.
Yeah,
I would
Coliseum's
I
great.
need to play
I would
that. And
get
I wanna
popcorn.
I want to play Coliseum and XD. I want to play both of those.
And they're
I'd grab some
tough.
popcorn.
They're
Mhm.
tough games.
I saw. Yeah,
It's also the hardest game for shiny hunting, technically.
I've heard.
Yeah,
I think it's crazy that
Yeah.
there's nothing in the game at all. That's really cool.
yeah. You gotta like purify them, and then that takes a while, obviously, and then you have to check if it's shiny or not, and then you have to repeat it if you really want a shiny
Mhm.
hunt, which is cool. But Lance, I saw when I was at SmashCon, I saw a PokePark graded game, and it was like a 9.7. It was completely sealed,
Oh my
And,
god!
and I was like, bro, this looks so sick.
Have you ever played Pokemon Treehouse?
I've never played it.
It's so cute. I love it. There's a lot
Really?
of Mew. And Mew's like not the antagonist, but like I don't know. It's such an awesome game. It was
See,
probably
I
made-
never.
It was made for me. It was made for me.
I've never played that, and I've never played Battle Revolution, which I heard was really good.
That
too.
was really cool. It's not
It's
like
cool.
it's not like it's all Battle Revolution is like in terms of content, it's probably a downgrade from Coliseum and XD. It's basically just like Pokemon Stadium, but like next gen. That's all it really is.
And not even that, because there wasn't even like the gym castle. There wasn't even
Yeah, it wasn't anything cool.
games.
Yeah, that wasn't anything
It was
cool like
literally
that.
just the battling.
Also,
It
did
was
you
kinda-
guys? Or go ahead.
It's kind of like I think it was just hyping up. Oh, you can use online now. It's like oh cool.
Yeah.
But what's all the content? You know, like everyone has online. You know what I'm saying? So
But those battle animations look better than Sword
they
and Shield
did.
They
animations.
do.
Hey,
In
better
Coliseum, yeah.
Better than Scarlet and
Dude.
Violet too.
But bro, there's a video that came out from Did You Know Gaming, and they talk about how the developers of Coliseum knew nothing about Pokemon. Did you guys see that?
No,
No.
I didn't.
I
It's
did not
fucking
see
great.
that.
It's really interesting. Yeah,
You want link
really
that
cool.
in the DM? I
got
want
you.
to see that.
It was really
That's-
good. I got you. But basically, in that video, I think it was from a couple years ago, someone asked Junichi Masuda, will we ever get a game like Coliseum or XD Gale of Darkness? And apparently he just replied, no.
No, but Tree,
Which-
call me crazy. Call me crazy. Pokemon Coliseum has got FF7 vibes all over it.
Screams it, bro.
It
screams
screams
it.
Midgard.
Really?
It screams
Oh,
Midgard.
100%.
It honestly, hearing that these guys knew nothing about Pokemon, it looks like they were just RPG fans who wanted to make like a fun, like Midgard looking.
Oh, dude,
Like,
yeah.
it's-
Lanny, we got to talk about that sometime.
Yeah,
Do a podcast
They,
or
uh,
something.
Cool.
I have a question. Did they use Coliseum and XD? They use the spikes from they use not the spikes. I guess the spikes. They use the spikes from like Pokemon Stadium, didn't they?
I don't think so.
They might have used
I
it as a
don't
base.
think
They might have
so.
used it as a base.
Maybe as a base, but Genius Sonority, the people who developed it, like all those models and animations were brand new.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't
sorry.
seen a lot of Coliseum photos in a while, but I remember seeing it and I was like, oh, was it like N64 kind of like
Well, that's why there weren't as many Pokemon in the game too. They had to like pick and choose which ones, they could reanimate and do the whole thing themselves.
Right.
okay. Well, I mean like new Pokemon, like probably like old, they probably animate like the new Pokemon, like the Hoenn Pokemon, but like older Pokemon, like pre-Gen 3, I think they use like older like models.
I don't know how exactly they did it, but you can tell they definitely did it all themselves uniquely, because even a lot of the facial expressions and movements from the Pokemon, like some of them are like shaking as they fall and stuff
Mhm.
too, which is nothing to what's been recently done. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty positive they did all the new, like all remodeling.
N64 Stadium did that too.
Yeah, and they were good,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think the models might be like either like the same or like either like what down or like maybe I have to take a look.
Yeah,
at it.
that's good. I didn't even think of that, but I'll definitely link you that video.
Do we ever get back to that point, to the Pokemon Stadium era, where Pokemon was literally like at the forefront of what video games were capable of? And I'm not saying it needs to do that in a graphic sense. I know I've been trolling about the graphics and textures all night, but in any sense, Is there any path back for Pokemon, just like in Stadium, to feel like it was pushing things to their limits? Does that exist anymore?
I thought Pokemon Snap was really good. I think Bandai Namco developed that, and that's why
Bandai
it looked
Namco
as good.
The
as
new
it-
one?
So good.
Yeah. Yeah, new Pokemon Snap, my bad.
Yeah.
I
Gold
never
just
finished it. I never got really into Pokemon Snap. I played the first one from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was cool just to see him on like the big screen, but taking pictures of Pokemon was never a big draw. For
Dude,
me.
I think Bandai is just like absolutely killing it right now
100%.
too.
I think Game Freak
100%.
hired Bandai to do textures in Pokemon games.
Well, you have to think about a couple things. It's like Bandai, they've done like the new Pokemon Snap. They did Pokken Tournament, which all the animations are great for that.
Smash.
Another
even-
great looking
They do
Pokemon game.
Smash.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And then I was gonna say, and then Smash Bros. And I was seeing an interesting interview with Junichi Masuda and Sakurai in the Smash 4 era, and they were saying the hardest part about getting the Pokemon right wasn't the models, but it was making sure all the voices sound good and correct too. And now, especially with Ultimate, you have all the Pokemon back, and you have to make sure that they sound good in English and Japanese. So, yeah, Bandai's like very good when it comes to detailing shit too.
They seem to be pretty buddy with Kingdom Hearts and Square Enix lately. I wonder what's going on with that.
Oh.
You know, I've got my tinfoil hats about that, but
Oh, I know you do. You got the pointiest tinfoil hat I know. I love it. I love it.
that's why.
Yeah, I don't really like Philly talk as much anymore, but whenever you have one, I'm going to be there as soon as possible.
Because they make
Appreciate
sense.
that.
It makes sense. It's well explained. It's not like I feel like with Kingdom Hearts, I know we're getting on to Kingdom Hearts, but like whenever I hear like Philly talk, it's like it's like people throwing up like Hail Marys. I go like in Kingdom Hearts, it's it gets kind of okay, but I don't know. I'm kind of tired of it, to be honest. But when I hear,
is the master of masters.
yeah, like shit like that.
Hail
But like
Marys.
you'll
Yeah.
never see things like that from a Landy Theory video. It's well explained. It's not. It's just
There's reasons behind it.
in terms of Phillies, I think the best content is from Landy, honestly.
Well, I think part of it, and this is something I picked up from guys like Sonny, is like it's a good idea to include poke holes in your own argument. Like, don't be afraid
Yes,
to
definitely.
showcase that because it's not about being right or wrong. Again, the
Yeah.
biggest reveals and mysteries in the series, nobody saw them coming. There was no Yuzora fucking theory videos on YouTube 5 years ago. So like,
No,
and this is
there
what
wasn't.
I encourage everyone, whether you be a creator now or you aspire to be a creator. It's not about being right. You know, honor the lore and source material to the best of your ability. Conjure up something that's possible, and then leave it up to the audience to decide. You know, as opposed to maybe like what you're saying, Lance. A lot of guys, they just shoot the Hail Marys and try to convince. They're so bent on convincing you it's right when it's like it doesn't really matter if you're right. You know, we're not the authors of the story when it comes.
Right.
Whether you theorize for any fucking franchise, even if it's Pokemon, like just honor the source material, try to stay true to the lore, have some fun, and make people's imaginations go wild. That's what I would say.
Right.
But how about we get back to Pokemon and the shitty textures? That's not a theory. That's a fact. But do we have any theories about like what the legends are going to be? What are these motorcycle Pokemon? Like, what's going on there? And am I the only crackhead who loves a Pokemon with wheels that runs? This is my
Yeah.
new favorite thing.
I don't like the design.
It's my new favorite
Ooh.
thing.
Oh, you don't like
Really?
the legendaries.
No, I don't like them.
You don't like them?
Mm-mm.
I don't think they're going to be the final legendaries in the game, to be honest.
No, they're the birds.
If-
They're the legendary bird equivalent, you know?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be like the main thing, like the threat or whatever. Like, I feel like there's going to be something else, and they're definitely keeping that under wraps.
I'm curious to as when we're able to get them too, because it seemed
They're
like
everywhere. They're everywhere.
Right.
yeah. Well, it's like when can we like get on the motorcycle and like drive around? How is that going to be connected to the story and like,
Well,
you
maybe it's
know?
gonna be almost kind of like Arceus, where it's like you summon the Pokemon, but it's not your Pokemon.
Ooh, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
that'd be cool.
I really hope
yeah.
that like they bring something I want to see back in Pokemon games that I haven't really seen since like Gen 5 is I want them to bring, if you don't count like Ultra Beasts or the Tabus, but I want them to bring back trios.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like proper trios, like legendary trios.
Okay.
Or,
Right.
Now I'm following.
yeah, like, and keep it at the trios. Like
Mhm.
I'm sick of the every generation has 5 million legendaries. Like, keep them like unique and like special. They're not special anymore.
Yeah, like Sword and Steel didn't have that many. Oh, and neither did X and Y, but like I don't know, I like having like legendaries to like and mythicals like to
Mhm.
like to, like kind of like chase after, but like I want like they don't really feel that special in Sun and Moon when you can have a lot of them, but
Nope.
like X and Y there's like there's Extremius and Yevagol and Zygarde. That's it. I want them to find like a
Yeah.
happy medium in between
Mhm.
like in between in between the Sun
Mhm.
and Moon and the X and
I
Y.
kind of
So
think
there's
Gen
something.
1 nailed it, personally.
Yeah,
I think Gen
yeah.
1 nailed it.
What do you guys think about like Diamond and Pearl kind of hitting it with that? Do you think that
There
was
were a
good
lot.
balance?
I
I'm going to
think there
stay out
was
of Diamond and Pearl conversation. I'm going to stay
what?
out of it. Nothing.
Oh.
I thought Diamond
You
and
did
Pearl was
not like
overrated.
that.
I thought it
I
was
know you didn't,
overrated. The
but
town,
you didn't
the town.
play
Okay, hold on.
Platinum.
Soundtrack awesome. Town's awesome. So many things awesome. Diversity of Pokemon ruined the whole experience for me.
Gotta play
80% of what I bumped
Platinum.
into was Gen 1. I get to the end of the game, my party
Yeah,
has a
Gen
bunch of
1!
literally
Best gen! No, I'm
80%
just
Gen
kidding.
1s, and I'm that guy. I'm a Gen 1er. I'm that guy. But the 80% of like I got a fucking Arbok in my party, and I'm 18 hours into Gen 4. What the fuck is Arbok in my party for? I don't know. It has so much going for it, and I know the underground tunnels is where it's at, and the post game is where it's at. I just felt like that lack of diversity of Pokemon in the Gen 4 campaign really just is such a. It doesn't do the game any favors, and I'll leave it at that.
Fair, but
Yeah,
Platinum is still the best fucking Pokemon game. I'm
See,
sorry.
I have to play
You gotta
Platinum.
play
I hear Platinum
Platinum.
fixes some of this. I hear Platinum fixes
Platinum
some of
is
this.
incredible. That's the best way you can experience a Gen 4 game. A Sinnoh game in general. 100%. You get much more of the variety. You get much more access to Pokemon that in Diamond and Pearl you couldn't even get until post game. Like,
So is that like is
it's
that like
just,
final master version? Is that dead too? Because Sword and Shield
yeah.
don't have that. You know, they don't have
No,
that third
it's
master
basically the
version.
Emerald.
it's a
It's
remake
basically the
with
Emerald.
improvements.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like it's a like he said, it's a crystal. It's your
Yeah.
emerald.
Emerald, yeah.
Interesting.
The Ultra Sun
Did
and
Black and
Moon,
White?
whatever.
Did the start of like Black and White have like almost all new Pokemon?
Yeah, that I didn't like.
Yeah, no, for
I-
just Black and White 2, when you started the game, you could find different generation Pokemon, but for
Mhm.
just Black and White, when you started the game, it only had new region Pokemon.
I remember
You couldn't
people
get
when
any.
X and Y came out, people were really happy that there was a lot of like older Pokemon that you could
Yeah.
encounter.
It's just more variety, and you're not shoving down these. And also, I just thought that Gen 5 was just a lackluster group of Pokemon. Very much to me, wasn't it like the exact number uh, uh, as Gen 1? Like they introduced 150 Pokemon.
It was a
It
little
felt
it was a
just
little
like
less.
Yeah.
it felt like just a rehash of Gen 1. All of those Gen 5 Pokemon. Like you could draw parallels from each of them. Like Kling Clang was basically just a steel magneton, and and the fighting guy was just another Machamp, and the rock guy was just another Golem. It was like,
But also, it's like Goldeen
Oh.
was also a fish, and it's like so is their evolution. And Bellsprout's a plant. Like,
right?
like I feel like I'm not like fully defending Gen 5, but I do feel like some of the
Bro, are you a Gen 5 apologist?
I'm just
Exposed.
defending that Gen 5
Exposed.
was really dope. But and yeah, the Pokemon were lackluster, but it's also important to remember that a lot of Pokemon are just like animals too. Like even in Gen 1.
But to me, the Gen 1 are just more appealing. And if you're gonna do a lot of Pokemon like that and like get you in like in a game where you can't get any of your favorite Pokemon at all, you better be fucking spot on with those designs. And I just think Gen 5 didn't do it.
I think Gen
I thought
3 has the
Gen-
best balance. Go ahead, Lance.
I think Gen 5 has some cool designs. My main issue was like I thought the Star Wars were really fucking bad. I think like I like
Worst
a lot.
gen for Star Wars.
Yes, I agree. Big facts. I really do like Pokemon. Like Chandelure is also my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. I like that whole line. I really like Crocodile. I like that line. I like Ringnucleus. I don't know what you guys feel about Ringnucleus. I thought that was like, well, that was one of the first Pokemon that stuck out to me when I started playing Gen 5. And I don't know, the forces in nature, they're kind of mid. But I think the Swords of Justice I think they're pretty cool.
Verizon.
Verizia or Verizon. I call it Verizon personally, but they're very comparable to like the legendary beasts. So I can see like people might not like them.
What was the dragon Pokemon? You could like officially get a shiny of that Pokemon when you went on an island once you completed the Pokedex. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? It's like I forget the name.
In what is it, Black and White, or is it a different game?
It's in Gen 5, yeah.
I don't remember.
Let me see.
Atchu?
Nah, let me see.
That's one of the lines that I'll give it to you as well. I like the
Atchu
line.
Haxorus.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, Haxorus. It's like you could actually get an official shiny of them once you complete the Pokedex. And I thought that was kind of cool.
That's
really?
Yeah, it's like you complete the Pokedex, you go to an island, and then it's just standing in the middle once you complete like some quests on the island, I'm pretty sure.
I gotta look that up. I've never heard of that. That's
it's really cool, yeah. It's I think, and the shiny form, the shiny variant's like all black. Like it looks really cool.
I want to get spoiled.
But yeah, check it out.
Well, we are about 90 minutes in. Is there anything about Scarlet and Violet that any of you wanted to touch on that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
Only that I would love to play with you guys with that co-op mode. That would be a lot of fun.
I'm down.
That's the most enticing thing about this game. I really believe it. And I say that to its credit because to me it's like, okay, this is a bid for something new. This could actually this could push co-op campaigns forward in open world games, like that. There's something about this co-op that's really, if it's smooth and intuitive and so does anyone know how's it gonna be? Is it just that we're gonna run around on the map together, or can we actually engage in battles together? How far does this go?
The raid battles I think are definitely together. I don't know about just the regular overworld encounters,
right?
But either way, it gives me that the Pokemon D&D vibes where we were going up all night trying to fight a trainer or just train and stuff together.
Dude, the ending of our Pokemon D&D campaign was one of the if one of the mainline games ever had an ending like this, I'd go crazy. It was kind of like the ending of Detective Pikachu, basically our entire party for the whole, here comes, we're really going to nerd out here, but our entire party for the whole campaign was myself, you've got David here, Charlotte, and our buddy Joe, who was actually the first guest in Landy Lodge history. So we're all playing together. And Charlotte and I, you know, we kept trying to warn David. We call him after we play. We'd be like, David, we think Joe's going to betray the party. We have this feeling he's a traitor. He's working with Team Rocket because his character, his dad was Giovanni. So we're like, okay, he's going to betray us. And David was always like, no. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. Let's just fast
give him the
forward.
benefit of the doubt.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's just fast forward to the ending. So Joe uploads his consciousness into Mewtwo and decides he's going to take over the world, all because David gave him a second chance time and time again.
Damn.
I felt so betrayed, honestly. Like,
I was screaming at you. I swear we were in different towns, but I hope you heard me. I hope you heard me screaming.
Oh, I felt it. I did at least feel it.
So if
The betrayal.
If anybody, whether like Lanz or Tree or anyone who's listening or watching, if you have it in you to try a Pokemon Dungeons and Dragons campaign, give it a shot. You have a good DM. It can be so much fun. Like, it really
I've
can.
never been more attached to my Pokemon in
Dude, me
any
neither.
other
I would
scenario.
check on them at the app like in the middle of the day. I'd be like, yeah.
Mhm.
How they doing? How they doing in there? How they doing in there?
Mm-hmm. Like, look at him. Like, this is mine. Like, we have a relationship. Like,
Well, because they run the risk of dying. Like, you could. Was it you? No. And then, so Meowth, Team Rocket's Meowth was part of the campaign.
that was me.
That was you.
Yeah.
He beat him to death.
What?
Actually beat the Meowth to death, and we faced
Damn.
a lot of
We got
consequences for
kidnapped
this.
by Team
Stop,
Rocket.
bro.
We were in like the.
Yeah, we got kidnapped and
I was-
everything. There were lots of
Yes.
consequences. Oh god.
And the DM J Rob was like, "Are you sure you want to?" Because I kept using arm thrust, and like it was a move where if you rolled again,
It
you
just-
could do more damage, and so it would just keep going. And he was like, "Are you sure you want to keep going?" I'm like, "Yes, arm thrust, go."
Yeah,
go,
pour on
go."
the damage.
And then that's why I said I was done. And he's like, "Yeah, you beat Meowth's skull in. He's dead."
Pulling out for me out. Pulling out for me out.
Pour it out for me out. That's right. But yeah, I think on that note of everyone's like childhood being beaten to a pulp, I think we can close out tonight's episode of The Lodge. Before we
What
do,
a dark ending.
what a very dark ending. So maybe we can brighten it up. If everyone could just go around the circle, give us the number one thing you're excited about and the number one thing you're doubtful of, and then we'll close this out. Somebody jump in quick.
All right. I'm most excited for the OLED Switch edition.
Of course you are.
I'm just kidding. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I bet
to
you're not
play-
kidding.
I'm excited to play with my friends online, but my biggest concern is Nintendo Switch Online. I'm a little worried about that. I don't think anyone's ever thought about that. Everyone's like, online, you get to play with your friends. And I'm like, if it's more than 2 people, pray. Like, it's not. I don't know, but yeah,
Fair.
I'm excited. I'm ready because it feels like it. It feels like it doesn't feel too soon for a new generation either. I'm ready for it. I'm excited, but I'm very doubtful of
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch Online. So
I'm excited for there's a brand new dogs and a brand new Pokemon adventure. I'm excited, but the co-op is probably from what I've seen is what I'm most excited for. I really hope that like I won't say doubtful, but it's like it's more like a Sword and Seal thing. Really want them to bring like I want surprises, you know, like I want cool RNG things. Not to compare to Breath of the Wild, but you like when you play Breath of the Wild, you see some like really like those dragons, like those serpents in Breath of the Wild. I want to see like legendaries like pop up like that. I want to adventure the world of I forgot the name of the region. Fake Pokemon fan.
Paldea.
Paldea, thank you. I want to go around Paldea and I want to like explore it and I want to be. I want to see things that make me go like, "Holy shit, what the fuck is that?" You know what I'm saying? I don't want to like, I want something like show up at the same place every single time. I want to like, I want this. I want you know what I'm saying? I want to feel. I want things to come to me naturally. I want to feel like an actual like adventure and not have things like happening all like systematically. If that makes any sense.
Well, that's what I'm most excited for is the fact that you have and what they talked about the three different quests that you could do. You could do them in any order. You could do them. You could do like complete one of them and then go to another or whatever. And I that is just what draws me into it. The um, customization of your adventure. What I'm worried about, I, I guess, the actual Pokemon, because of I haven't been the biggest fan of all the Pokemon that they've shown. Like those aren't the Mega Man Pokemon look really cool. Um, the starters, except Fuecoco, I could like give or take. I don't need another water duck. I don't need another cat Pokemon. Like I just want to be excited by the Pokemon. And that's it.
That's fair. For me, I'm most excited for the co-op. I think Pokemon's at its best when it brings people together. I think Sword and Shield started that with things like raids. I think Scarlet and Violet's taken that to the next level. What I'm most doubtful of is this open world worth exploring, or is it very plastic and very cookie cutter? I'm hoping I'm wrong, because again, I'm day one buyer. But gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on. Guys, those of you who are listening or watching, I've got all their links in the episode description. Make sure you're following them across platform. They've got plenty to offer in many different ways. Gentlemen, again, it's been a pleasure. Major shout out to all of you.
Always.
Lanz, dude, thanks for officially becoming a Sage of the Lodge. And thank you, chat, for hanging
Happy
out.
to be one. Yes.
I know we didn't have a lot of back and forth with the chat here, but we were reading it. We were reading what you guys were saying. We appreciate you all hanging out. But yeah, if you're sticking out on Twitch, please stick around for the raid. We're gonna raid Andy Brew. Like, who else would we raid at this time?
There
of
we
night?
go. That fits.
Playing some
Absolute
Persona
legend,
5
Andy Brew.
Royal. Like, come on. Gold standard of JRPGs. You haven't played Persona 5 Royal? I can't do business with you. We're out! Thanks for hanging out,
Whoa,
everybody.
not do business.